Hey love, look at these makeovers.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.
To see the process keep on watching, it deserves to. Thank you.
Welcome to part 1 of redoing my patio platform thing in my backyard. I want it to look like this, or like this, or like this, but right now it looks like this, and it's holding all this water. So first, I have to level it out. So I mixed up some concrete, and I thought, maybe I'll wait for my boyfriend to get home, but you know what? Nah. So I did it myself, and I started by the door to make this the highest point, but then I realized, oh no, this door is going to open outwards, and it's never going to fit with this and the tiles I want to put in, so I had to start over. I scraped it all up, and really all I made that day was a really heavy box. Then I thought, oh, I wish there was something thinner that would set better. Thin set. So I mixed up some thin set, and I used that, and I used this 2x4 in this level to fill in all the parts that were holding water. Oh, went great. Look at it. So beautiful. It looks terrible actually, but I'm going to cover it with tile, so it's fine. Then I needed to paint these edges so they would match the trim on my house. So I used the same color, and this is going to be covered with like pillars and stuff when I'm done if everything goes according to plan. So that looks a lot better. Then I painted this that needed to be done forever and painted the door pink like my front door. So beautiful. Turned out great. Tune in next time where I cover the whole platform in these beautiful tiles. Part 2 of redoing my back patio. After part 1, it started raining all day, and I saw that the patio was still holding water. So we broke down and we bought these $30 a bag self-leveling concrete. By we, I mean me and Chad, my boyfriend and partner in all things home improvement. We mixed it up and we had to work quickly because this stuff dries really fast. We poured it out and spread it out and leveled it, and it turned out awesome. I didn't use this initially because I wanted to use the thin set in my garage to save money. Then it was time to put in our IKEA parquet tiles. They were super easy to work with, and they snapped right together without any tools. And by some miracle, they fit the platform perfectly. We didn't have to cut any. I love how it turned out. They look awesome. Also, if this isn't clear from the amount of mistakes I make and the incorrect materials I use, I'm not a professional. I feel like I need to clarify this. I'm just out here doing my best. Next time, tune in for phase 3, where I put up these pillars and some lattice and a privacy wall, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to put in some lights too. Patio makeover part 3. While I was waiting for some parts to come in for the privacy wall and the railing, I started shopping for patio furniture, which is way too expensive. So I found this on Facebook Marketplace. I took this top off because it's not water resistant, and I started sanding to get ready to paint it this beautiful color. Then I cut these planks to go on the top and painted those as well. And I hammered these nails in. This one went really well. These ones didn't go so great. So I filled in the damage. And then I found this gold paint to fill in the details so it popped a little bit more, especially these like Harry Potter moons that I loved so much. Then I used this 2-inch sponge brush to do this design on the top to bring it all together. And then I sprayed it with this polyurethane exterior so it was weatherproof. Then it turned out great. This is something I'm going to use as the coffee table on the finished patio. Tune in next time where I'll be doing my best to do things quickly. My ducks eating these grasshoppers that I hate in my yard is how we're going to kick off the patio makeover part 4. Today we installed the privacy wall, which is made of these lattice pieces, and we used a hammer drill in order to install these metal brackets that are going to hold 8-foot wooden pillars. If you're wondering why this hand looks like an old lady's hand, it's my hand, but I have terrible eczema, so that's why it looks that way. We made sure the pillars were level, and then we hammered them in place with this electric hammer that I didn't know existed until today. Then we popped the lattice into the brackets to make sure that they were secure. Our goal with this wall, once we're done, is to grow vines or bougainvillea or something really cool that will climb to the top of it. Then we installed the brackets on the top, and you know, if the Chad is working all day, he deserves a chicken nugget, so I brought him a chicken nugget. Then it was all done. It looked great. We had all the brackets in place in order to do the railing and some furniture tomorrow. My paint-covered hand is here to introduce Patio Makeover Part 5 and to let you know you should probably wear rubber gloves when working with spray paint. Today, we installed most of the slatted railing that's going to surround the patio. While Chad got started on that, I got started repurposing my second Facebook Marketplace find. This bench that I sanded and spray painted is going to serve as couch-like seating on the patio itself with like pillows and blankets, because it's going to be great. Then we installed these slats on the patio railing. It involved a lot of math. I don't love math, but thankfully the math came out fine and they were spaced nicely. The bench dried and it looked awesome. And this fence makes me want to feed sugar cubes to a horse. Next time I'll show you these exterior pillowcases I got on a deal. And I went to Target and I got this striped rug that was apparently $140 at first, but I got it for $112 because I love a good sale. Guys, this is it. Patio Makeover Part 6, the last one before the final reveal. After I painted those railings, it was time to cut these tiles around the posts, but If it wasn't attached to the plastic, these little wood chips fell off, so you had to cut along the plastic, which left some space. Then it was time to stuff these pillows full of fluff, and then I went back to my motherland, Home Goods, I'm so sorry if it's not open yet in your state, to buy some accessories for the final space. Then I got some plants, and you know what? If you're thinking to yourself, this patio's almost done. What is even the point of this girl's existence anymore? Why am I here? Why do I follow this? What am I even doing? Fear not. I have literally endless spaces I want to share with you guys, starting with, I can't believe I'm showing you this front room that I want to turn into a home office and a guest room. That's the next project. Also, thank you guys for being so patient. I'm working on the final reveal video right now, but if you want to see the instant reveal instantly, you can go to my Instagram right now.
It's you, you're the one that makes me feel right. I've been in love with that for ages, and I can't seem to get it right.
Today in the she shed, I was brainstorming about what my next project should be. I had a lot of ideas, but I didn't love any of them. So I decided to give my brain a break from all the thinking and leave the shed. But as I was leaving, that's when inspiration struck. The bonfire pit. It's right across from the shed and hasn't been revamped in at least a decade. So I said, no more nasty bonfire pit, and commenced on creating the ultimate s'mores making area. I removed all of the outdoor furniture and started the demolition process on the fire pit. I had my little brother Kellen help me out, and we got the job done. After that, I started to remove all of the ash. My idea for the bonfire pit area is to create a gravel patio, an outdoor bench, hammock stand, and of course, a new bonfire pit. I was pretty tired after this, so I grabbed my smart cup. A lot of you ask how I have the energy to do these projects, and these are the answer. All you have to do is add water. My dad's best friend owns the company, and he says hi, Chris. After my little break, I got to measuring and marking out the patio dimensions. Stay tuned for day 2 to see what the patio looks like. Today in the she shed, I was brainstorming about what my next project should be. I had a lot of ideas, but I didn't love any of them. So I decided to give my brain a break from all the thinking and leave the shed. But as I was leaving, that's when inspiration struck. The bonfire pit. It's right across from the shed and hasn't been revamped in at least a decade. So I said, no more nasty bonfire pit, and commenced on creating the ultimate s'mores making area. I removed all of the outdoor furniture and started the demolition process on the fire pit. I had my little brother Kellen help me out, and we got the job done. After that, I started to remove all of the ash. My idea for the bonfire pit area is to create a gravel patio, an outdoor bench, hammock stand, and of course, a new bonfire pit. I was pretty tired after this, so I grabbed my smart cup. A lot of you ask how I have the energy to do these projects, and these are the answer. All you have to do is add water. My dad's best friend owns the company, and he says hi, Chris. After my little break, I got to measuring and marking out the patio dimensions. Stay tuned for day 2 to see what the patio looks like. Day 2 of redoing my bonfire pit area in my backyard. My goal was to recreate the gravel patio seen in this picture I found on Pinterest. I started the day off by raking the 16 by 16 foot area and putting a weed block fabric down. I sprayed vegetation killer before doing this and fastened the fabric with garden staples. After finishing this up, I began to unload these 48-pound bags of gravel on the one day Spring Lake, Michigan decided to be 85 degrees. It's safe to say that sweatpants were not a good idea. I really needed a pick-me-up after this, so I grabbed one of my smart cups. These are the world's first printed beverage, and they have as much caffeine as a large cup of coffee, but 0 sugars so I don't crash. After this, I sunk these 16-foot pressure-treated 2x3s into the ground and screwed them all together. I also drilled pilot holes for the rebar I used to keep the frame in place. I put 4 on each side. Finally, I started to add the gravel, and 46 bags later, I had a gravel patio. Stay tuned for day 3. Bye! Day 3 of redoing my bonfire pit area in my backyard. After making this gravel patio yesterday, my goal today was to create outdoor seating. I grabbed my supplies and I got to unloading the van. Kellen helped me unload these pieces of wood and enjoyed a smart cup with me. As the world's first printed beverage, all you have to do is add water. We not only love these cups for their flavors, but also because they're only 5 calories, eco-friendly, and loaded with B vitamins and amino acids. After refueling with the smart cups, we added masonry glue to each of the cinder blocks and began to construct the L-shaped seating area. For the center joint of the seating arrangement, I copied this pattern vertically 3 times. Next, you just slide the 6-foot 4x4s into place and call it a day. The ground I was working on was not perfectly level, but these benches worked really well on the uneven surface. In the end, I sanded down any rough edges and had a finished outdoor seating arrangement. Stay tuned to see how I create the actual bonfire pit. Bye! Day 4 of redoing my bonfire pit area in my backyard. I started the day off by mapping out where I wanted the pit itself to go. Next, I went to Home Depot and got 36 of these pavers. I was literally like the only person there, and I put my mask on right after loading these onto the cart. Then I went home and I moved the gravel from the spot I would be placing the pit, and I cut away this weed block fabric that I had put down a few days earlier. Excuse my concentration face, it's not the most flattering. Finally, I got to constructing the pit itself. It's super easy, and I put 12 of these paver things on each level, and one of the pavers broke, and apparently I was just devastated at the time, but it's really not a big deal. It doesn't look too bad. I finished off the top layer, and I called it a day. It's super easy, and literally anybody can do this. I added some paver sand to the bottom and some lava rock for some color. In the end, I had a pretty cute fire pit, and it literally only took me 10 minutes. Stay tuned to see how I construct this hammock thing, and yeah, bye! Day 5 of redoing the bonfire pit area in my backyard. With all of my other projects finished, it was time to tackle the hammock area. I wanted to put a hammock frame right here, so I bought this hammock from Bed Bath & Beyond, and I had my brother and mom stand in place for where I wanted to sink the posts. I marked on the ground, so I knew exactly where I had to dig, and I got to digging. This was no easy task, let me tell you that. The holes are about 3 feet deep, and it took me forever to do it, but it worked out in the end. So I had my dad help me plop these 12-foot 4x4s into the holes. I grabbed this fast-setting concrete mix. Don't look at my shoes, I know they're disgusting. And I just poured it into the hole, and then I also added some water, and I waited 4 hours before putting any pressure on it, but it was super easy and convenient. I added the support beam across the top, and I called it a day. I had a finished hammock stand. I posted the final reveal of this entire project today as well because you all have been so patient, so go check that out too. Bye! After finally finishing up this project, I started to add the finishing touches. I added these lights, some cushions to make the benches more comfortable, some more lights above the hammock, and this fun plant in the center joint of the seating. And most importantly, I grabbed a bunch of s'mores material. My nasty bonfire pit went from a space that was an eyesore that we barely ever used to this in a matter of 5 days. To celebrate, my little family and I had a bonfire. It was pretty riveting, to say the least. My dad quickly started to make his s'mores. He wasted no time, and my mom suddenly thought that she was a flamethrower with her sparklers, while my dad also proceeded to make 7 more s'mores, and Kellen started to be a lame teenage boy, so I made him hold this sparkler to cheer him up, but I don't think it worked. Finally, to finish off the night, we put an old sheet up and projected a show onto it. I hope you guys enjoyed this series and stay tuned for more. Bye!
dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur, mais pas de bonheur.
Day 3 of redoing my room, and a lot of you have questions, so I'm here to answer them. First off, I chose this because I've had it saved on Pinterest. I thought a 1980s ad for Nike would be really cool because I've been obsessed with the 80s ever since I was young. So I'm not exactly sure what I should do next. I actually need your help because I have no clue. Once I finish this painting, I want to do a couple more smaller paintings, but I don't know of what. I know this is cliche of me to say, but if you have any aesthetic, quote-unquote aesthetic pictures that you've taken or you've seen, please send them to me on Instagram. I really want to do something cool and creative and unique. This video alone was a time-lapse of me painting for 6 hours, but the painting in total has taken 12 hours. I'm probably going to redo the clouds. I didn't get as far as I wanted today, but just because I had to redo a bunch of the colors, but I'm happy with the result. Thank you for all the love, and have a very good quarantine.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just wanna be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I just wanna be the one you love. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
Sometimes you gotta close the door to open a window.
But can you find me soon, because I'm in my head. Yeah, I need you now, but I don't know you yet. Cause lately it's been hard. They're selling me for parts, and I don't wanna be modern art, but I only got half a heart to give.
From that frame, I'll put it in my pocket so that every day you're with me. I keep you close to my heart. Give me one more kiss before the boys arrive. Nashville to San Francisco is a hell of a drive, but don't worry, the Lord is good when the road is long, and we'll be back before you know.
How much sorrow can I take
I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why I'm down, yeah? No friends of mine around, yeah. Now I'm thinking like
for 3 years, man, you can't even book me. It's me and Lil Baby that going crazy. Weezy produced it and Weezy have made me, and she held it down, so she got a Mercedes. No Money Records, the Army, the Navy. It ran me 10,000, I threw it like Brady. The foreign is yellow like Tracy and Katie. I trust in my they never betray me. Met all these they sweeter than Sadie. When I started out, I just took what they gave.
Brand new whip, got no keys. Tell them my clothes, no starch, please. Soon as I you won't leave. Got M's in the bank, like yes, indeed. Cartier glasses, I won't even peek at you. Yellow Ferrari like Pikachu. I got him waiting and watching what he gon' do. Tryna be what I
Don't blame me for falling. I was just a little boy. Don't blame the drunk caller. Wasn't ready for it all. You can't blame me, darling. Not even a little bit. I was
1, 2, 3, let's switch this up. Spin on my coupe with a top, riding along, he up in the stars.